Live from your drive this afternoon with Domino's, the official food of everything. We've brought our caravan to a very chilly Fleetwood Esplanade, a place where we're no strangers to, really. We were here with the RNLI a few months back with Live from your drive, this time with HM Coast Guard and Mark Sumner. So what's your official title, Mark?
I'm the station officer of the team here at Fleetwood.
Just station officer. Couldn't they give you anything more fancy than just station officer?
I'm sure I could make things up, but it's just station officer.
It's nice to meet you. Great career, lots of experience, 32 years. Let's start with history. A little history lesson with the Coast Guard. Take us right back.
Well, I wasn't there, but in 1609 was the Water Guard created to protect the coastline against smugglers. And over the years, that changed hands. We formed eventually in the early 1800s to purely search and rescue. And that's the responsibility of the Coast Guard these days, to coordinate search and rescue in the whole of the UK and up to 1,000 miles out into the Atlantic. So
going right back, there must have been some laws and rules and almost like, things that you were allowed to do, you had a license to do. Does some of those still exist? Can you still use those powers today?
Very few of them. Probably officially there are some that we wouldn't dare to use in the past as being an armed service from 1609, rights of access across land if people were injured as part of it. They're long gone. The Coast Guard was an armed service during the war. We had 2 ships that were involved in World War II. So the origins are there in the military, but certainly civilian these days.
Talk us through a typical day.
It depends. We're all on call 24 hours a day. So a typical day could be any time at all. The pages go. The phones also work on the apps, which trigger us, gives us a detailed description of what the casualty is, where to go. I can also tell from that how many of the team are turning out, which other teams are turning out. And it's all electronic these days. It's very clever. And then we basically respond to wherever we're needed.
Let's talk more about the team. How many?
18 at the moment, which is quite a big team. But we've got a lot of incidents. So to resource those incidents and to keep people fresh, we have a large number of members.
What's the average number on a team? Because there are quite a number. Is it 350 teams across the UK?
Approximately 350 teams, and generally speaking, teams are of 15 members strong, although there are smaller teams.
Why do you think we have more incidents in this area, on this coastline?
One word, Blackpool, basically. Yeah, the amount of people that come to visit and the local population, with plenty of boats, of course, with the marinas and so forth, and it just keeps us busy.
I'm sure you've got lots of stories to tell. One that springs to mind in particular for me would be Riverdance. Let's talk about that in a little while, because I'm sure there's some great tales to tell from that. Criteria to become a volunteer?
Surprisingly little. You don't have to be able to swim. Our job is actually to coordinate, although team members that arrive, we do get water rescue training, a clean driving licence, and at least 18 years old. Very simple, really.
And what's the best thing to do for somebody who's listening at the moment and they might think, do you know what, I fancy giving some time for that. I'm really keen. Like yourself, me and Mark were chatting before. Once you've got the bug, you've got the bug, right?
You do. Gone are the days of popping down to the local pub, having a pint and saying, right, come on out with us, which is how I joined. It's all officially done now through Southampton, so it's an application through to Coast Guard headquarters. If we are recruiting, and we're fully staffed at the moment, we tend to advertise on Facebook just to say we've got vacancies, encourage people to apply for a form. It's taken out of our hands, and the first time I see people is when they've passed all those official processes and they come through to meet the team and myself.
Great stuff. We'll chat more across the afternoon. It's great to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're live from your drive this afternoon with Domino's at HM Coast Guard, Fleetwood Esplanade at the lifeboat station. This is Regard, Ride It, Radio Wave's home run for Thursday.